यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारतम् अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम् धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
So welcome everyone, welcome to my channel Sanatan Raj, and today we have a very special guest with us from a very well-known YouTube channel known as Living Inside Out, and her name is Miss Daksha Nichani. Miss Daksha Nichani is a doctor of MD, she is a spiritual healer and a very knowledgeable person on the topic of spirituality. So today I have invited her on my channel to know about a very important topic known as DNA activation. But before we continue this video, I would request everyone to follow her on YouTube, Instagram and Facebook. So sister, welcome to my channel today, and just like you are awakening humanity in these times of deceptions by sharing your spiritual knowledge through your YouTube channels, today in this video I would like to have your opinion on a topic that I think is very important for all of us to know right now to protect ourselves from the deception and traps that are led by some evil forces and some secret societies. So welcome to my channel, sister.
Hi Saptarshi, thank you so much.
Yeah, so today in this video I would like to have your opinion on some important questions related to this topic. So I would like to start
Sure.
So I would like to start by the first question, that is, what are exactly DNA strands and what is DNA activation or upgradation? I mean, what can we understand by this?
Okay. So each and every person is familiar with DNA double helix. Like we have already learned that earlier when we were small in our science classes. We have already learned about DNA double helix structure. So 2 strands of DNA is the genetic material that is basically it's made up of. But we also have additional 10 strands of DNA, which I don't think many of us is familiar with that. And on an average, around 90% of the population, they have only 3 to 4 strands of DNA activated. And now at this time, we are going through an ascension process. Here, we need at least 12 strands of DNA activated in us. So we need to activate these 10 ethereal strands. We need to have this ethereal strand activated, or we need to trigger those strands, because each and every strands of DNA holds a multi-dimensional aspect of ourselves. It's like the 12 aspects of our multi-dimensional consciousness. If I'll explain to you how each and every strands are holding each and every aspect, it's like DNA strand 1. It's the courage to move ahead and integrate our fears. DNA strand 2 is the ability to focus on something and follow it. So we need this. DNA strand 3 is maintaining gender balance between male and female power. DNA strand 4 is balance between energy field and physical body. DNA strand 5, that is the 5th dimension. So each and every strand is equal to 5th chakra is equal to 5th dimension. So it's all related, it's all connected. First strand is equal to 1st chakra. That is 1st dimension. Okay? So DNA strand 5 is 5th dimension. So here when we are talking about 5th dimension, we are talking about throat chakra. So we need to have an open heart. At least we need to open our DNA strand 4 so that we can activate the other DNAs above. So DNA strand 4 is our heart chakra. It helps in balancing the energy field and physical body. And DNA strand 5 is living peacefully in a state of acceptance. So DNA strand 6 is strength. Stand in our one's truth regardless of any outcome. DNA strand 7 is ability to accept both light and dark side of ourselves. DNA strand 8 is ability to hold personal boundaries regardless of any outcome. DNA strand 9 is ability to accept and live within a diverse community. DNA strand 10 is ability to tune into or listen into one's soul or higher self. So we need this to get ourselves out from our karmic cycle, because once we are connected with our higher self, there's no more going back into same karmic cycle or going on wrong soul path. So here we need to have an active DNA strand 10 as well. And then DNA strand 11 is power to envision, create and manifest these visions in 3D. So here so many people are struggling with manifestations. They want and they desire to manifest, but they are not able to create and manifest what they want in their physical reality, in their 3D reality, because they don't have their DNA strand 11 active. So here 11 strand gives us the power to envision, create, and manifest these visions in 3D. And DNA strand 12 is ability to accepting and appreciate the value in all things. So you can understand like how each and every strand is holding a message for us. It's our different aspects of our multi-dimensional consciousness. So now when we are realizing that we are multi-dimensional beings having a physical experience, we need to activate these 10 ethereal strand which is dormant. Which is in dormant state, we need to activate these strands so that physically, emotionally, mentally, it's all necessary for our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all kinds of things. So here it's for our well-being. Either it can be anxiety, stress emotionally, or it can be spiritual growth, connecting to our higher self and working from higher consciousness. So we all need these strands activated in us. So now many things are going here on this earth because of those or all those things. Strands are not getting activated, and because we are unconscious about these strands. So that can be a main reason behind people here have only 3 to 4 strands of their DNA activated.
Okay, so the next question I would like to ask you on this is, what are the differences between the different DNA strands? Like there are many different strands. You just now you told, and I mean, what are the benefits of having more evolved DNA strands? I mean, what are the differences between these different DNA strands, and what are the benefits of having more evolved DNA strands? Like just like you told, 10th strand,
each and
11th
every
strand.
each and every DNA strand holds a different meaning. So once we are activating these strands, it initiates our awareness to our higher self. So first, we are connecting more and more with our higher self, and it also helps in soul restoration, or we can call it soul retrieval. So that different aspects of ourselves, we are retrieving those aspects, and these strands help us to activate and help us to function in line with the universal laws. You must be seeing how things are going around, which is not in line with the universal laws. Whatever things that are happening at present, these things are not in line with our universal laws. So here, when we are activating our DNA, we are becoming in line with the universal laws. So the lack and limitation programming and all those financial issues, relationship issues, health issues, these are all because of dormant DNA template going. So energies is not flowing correctly in our body. So basically, in one line, if you ask me what is DNA activation, I can tell you that DNA activation is a process of evolution, and it's a process of self-mastery.
Okay.
Right? So DNA activation provides us keys to ascension. So once we activate our DNA, we can easily ascend. Even Kundalini awakening, you must have heard. So Kundalini awakening is directly linked with DNA activation. Once we are on ascension, we are activating our dormant DNA potential, then we trigger our Kundalini awakening phases as well. That is why you must have heard how symptoms and all we can face once DNA gets activated. So activating into more divine love. Once 4th strands of DNA, that is our heart chakra, gets activated, we become full with, it activates the divine love frequency in us. That is 5 to 8 hertz frequency. You must have heard that. So this is all because like heart expansion, joy, confidence. So all these higher frequencies we embody in ourselves. So it's all there. And many spiritual gifts, you must have heard telepathy, claircognizance, clairaudience, bilocation, clairvoyance. So these are all spiritual gifts, the psychic ability, the supernatural, paranormal things which we keep on hearing, magical powers and clair ability, psychic ability. So this all gets turned on. We already have all 7 psychic abilities with us, astral projection and all those things. We already have this with us. But because our DNA is not activated, because of that, we are not able to experience this thing, and we feel that this is something only a certain group of people can do that and we cannot do. But we all can do. We all have capacity to activate all 12 strands of DNA. But the thing is, we have to trigger those things. We have to awaken those things. Then only we'll experience the unknown.
Okay, so that was a great answer from you on this. And the next question I would like to ask you is, how can we repair our damaged DNA strands, and how can we evolve our DNA strands?
Right. So repairing as such, you are calling repairing in the sense of distortions. We need to correct our distortions.
Yes,
Then
yes.
only we can activate our DNA strand. Because until and unless we are not clearing those distortions, we won't be able to activate our DNA, because we are carrying so much karma in our soul memory, so many lifetime, so many lifetime has passed, and we are carrying so much negative imprints, karma, and even seals. You must have heard about J seals and different kind of seals
Mm-hmm.
that is there on Earth grid. And because we are taking birth on planet Earth, these seals and implants are there in us. Be it animals, be it humans, they have their seals and implant built in their energy field, or we can call it as grids
Mm-hmm.
throughout. So once we are clearing these implants, these seals, and even aura attachments, we need to have a strong aura so that we can raise our frequency to higher awareness. So the first thing, if you tell me how to activate the DNA strands, first thing we need to clear is our aura. That is our auric field, which is many aura holes are built, many entities are attached. So we need to have a good aura out there. So once we clear our aura, and then we can do is karmic clearing. So karmic clearing is ancestral clearing and all those shadow aspects that is there within us, shadow personas. First thing is aura, second thing is karmic clearing, the third thing is J seal removal. So we are
Okay.
removing the J seals from the grid, from Earth's, from our energy grids.
Mm-hmm.
That is the 12 strands, that 12 tree of life that we hold. It's the grid that we are holding within us, which is also there on planet Earth. The same grid is present on planet Earth. So once we are removing these seals, naturally we'll be able to activate our DNA, because once distortions are removed, once these lower frequency stuff is removed, we are naturally going in
Mm-hmm.
higher dimensions. And then we are able to access and embody the original divine blueprint that we already have inbuilt in us.
Okay.
So we need to take care, like what we are eating, what we are doing, what we are putting inside our body, how we are interacting, what karmic cycles we are putting ourselves into, how actions we are taking.
Mm-hmm.
Are we taking actions in line with our higher self, in line with our soul path? So we need to take care about all those things. Even the endocrine glands that you must have heard, hypothalamus,
Mm-hmm.
pituitary, all those like 4 brain centers, pineal gland, pituitary gland, hypothalamus, medulla oblongata. So these are all spiritual centers. So once our DNA is not activated, we won't be able to activate these spiritual centers also. Then how we'll be able to receive download from higher dimensions, how we'll be able to connect with the source, how we'll be able to connect with higher self. So we need to have our spiritual centers active. So this is all related to DNA activation.
Okay. So the next question related to this is there a natural DNA upgradation happening right now on Earth due to the Earth
Yeah,
change
definitely. Yeah,
or the
yeah.
Great Awakening? That is the Great Awakening. I mean the celestial changes that is leading to awakening in humankind and all species. I mean, is there a natural
Yes.
upgradation happening due to this?
Yes, naturally the universe at present is supporting us because we are going through a stellar wave activation cycle. So here we are passing through a phase in the photonic belt. We can say that 2000
Mm-hmm.
years of photonic belt. So we are passing through that phase at present. So now there's a natural upgradation happening because planet Earth is ascending to higher dimensions. So here whoever is present on planet Earth, be it human, be it animals, everyone is going through this
Okay,
ascension process.
okay.
So here definitely the universe is supporting us, and many energies and wave infusions, powerful wave infusions are flowing, and here we are undergoing through a process of upgradation. So naturally many must be experiencing many symptoms out there for DNA activation. So naturally things are
Happening.
going
Okay.
happening, things are happening. But what I feel is, until and unless we don't have our personal energy fields clear, we don't have the karmic imprints removed and the shadow aspect removed, we won't be able to feel or take those energies. If we are operating at a lower vibration state, no matter how much energies it's coming, because from source it's all like coming. From universe, energy is flowing, and now also we are going through portals and all opening, and through those portal openings and all energy openings. So here we are receiving energies, but until and unless we are not cleared, we won't be able to receive those energies. So it's not for everyone. Everyone won't be able to receive these higher energies. Those who are clear to a certain extent, only those of them will receive these energies. So definitely things are happening on higher level, and universe at present is supporting us. But we need to clear ourselves from our end. Then only we'll be able to feel those energies and take those upgradation. Because the more we are clear, the more we are lighter, the more we can receive those energies coming up.
So the last question that I should ask you is, since there's a natural upgradation of DNA and spiritual evolution in all the beings of earth happening due to the great awakening, due to celestial changes, many evil forces doesn't want humanity to awaken, and hence they are trying their best right now to stop the awakening process and stop our evolution. So in these times of deception and traps, how can we save our DNA strands from degradation, and what are the things that we shouldn't do or put in our body according to you?
So what I feel is there are many pharmaceutical drugs or injectables that we are using at present. This is very harmful for our DNA structure, and so we need to have a mindful approach of what we are putting inside our bodies. So this can be a simple answer for your question, because you're right that there are negative forces operating at present who are who don't want us to ascend, and even our lifestyle. We need to take care, like how we are eating, how we are living our lifestyle, how we are taking care of our bodies. So the simple answer can be, we have to be mindful of what we are putting inside our body, what we are allowing others to put inside our bodies. So here many things that have been going since ages, which are destroying our DNA. Because of those things, we were not able to activate our DNA strands, and it was into dormant. Even what we had studied earlier, that 98% of our DNA is junk DNA. So God will never make something which is junk. There's nothing there's no junk DNA. Each and every DNA strands holds a meaning. So we need to activate these DNA strands, and this will definitely help us to create and manifest the desired reality which we want. But we need to have a mindful approach during this in times or during this critical state that we are going through at present.
Yeah. So today from this conversation, what we can conclude is spirituality is more biological than we actually think. So without harnessing, without harnessing ourselves biologically, without protecting our DNA strands, and without protecting ourselves wholly biologically, we can't evolve spiritually. That's what I think we should conclude from this today's conversation. So thanks a lot, Ms. Daksha Nichani, for coming to my channel and sharing your valuable knowledge to my viewers.
If you want to know more about DNA activation, you can check on my channel. I have few videos on DNA activation. Also, we do sessions like aura clearing, karma clearing, JCs removal, and DNA activation.
And I hope that in the upcoming times, this information will be valuable to people, and people will take serious decisions before putting something into their body which can harm them really very badly in the long run.
Yeah. And do watch Saptarishi's channel, Sanatan Raj, and he's really doing a great work, great research work, and do check out his work. Amazing. It's really amazing to connect with you, Saptarishi, and thank you so much for calling.
Thanks a lot.